Hello and welcome to Midnight Scribe's Creative Vibes, where we speak to the best of the bronies and discover what makes them tick. Now, how many of you loyal listeners love to listen to a new track on repeat, to discover new tunes, bands, compositions to provide you with some pure escapism for a few minutes? Well, I certainly do, and it's not because I do a music show on my own YouTube channel, Forgotten Records with Midnight Scribe, plug alert, but because music is just intrinsically fantastic. Find that song that gets into your heart and your head, and you will be amazed how far it will take you. Well, if you're looking for a new music fix and a new artist to put in your playlist, then you'll love tonight's guest. Now, he's a rapper from the Netherlands who's making waves as an MC on the MLP hip-hop scene and spouting truth in his tracks and on his Twitter. Also, FYI, this is the only brony musician that I have ever bought an album from. There is no better sign of quality than that. So please give a warm Creative Vibes welcome to MC Arch. Arch, how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's great to be here. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it. Although, to be honest, I'd avoid Twitter if I was you guys, but for the rest... And by the way, it's an honor, man. Thank you so much for having me on. And thank you for buying my album, by the way, dude. Like, that's epic, bro. Like, it's...
Oh, listen, don't mention it. It was great meeting you at Brony Scott last year. And like I said, I love the album and it has just been a joy to listen to as well. And yeah, FYI, yeah, Twitter is a strange place. We'll say that. Twitter is just an unusual land at the best of times.
Yeah. It's like I log on. Okay, I want to post some ponies to see what's happening today. You know, I want to see what people think. You know, I love to see that. And I just scroll down, and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's why I stopped with social media. Okay, no.
No, I feel your pain there. I know what it's like you'll go on for a minute, it's just like, you know, I want to see some ponies or a nice fun video, and then before you know it, it's like, oh, for goodness sake, ban news war. Oh, really? Yeah. Where are the ponies?
I want to see my ponies, man. Like that's where I'm on the very first place, bro. I don't give a damn about the rest, dude. I just want to have my ponies, man. Like,
oh, exactly. Listen, you can never have enough ponies. You need a little bit of ponies in your life just to brighten things up, especially with everything going on these years. You know, you just need a little bit of happiness in your life.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. You know, it's actually funny that you mentioned that. You know, like, because what I usually say in one of my songs. Especially in the one I'm working on right now for the upcoming album. Yes, that's true. By the way, I'm working on a new album. But what I usually say, the beautiful thing about friendship is not knowing that your friends got your back. It's knowing you got theirs. You know, because a lot of people, you know, in this fandom, they all have their different ideas and different experience and all that. But even though if we're different in that, you know, we all still stand up for the same. You know, for the same goal, man, the same purpose, the same, and I think that's epic. I think that's beautiful. That definitely got to me when I was still like discovering this. You know, like it's beautiful. Like,
oh, definitely. There's a lot of positive elements to the fandom. I mean, there's absolutely no question there, and I mean, certainly speaking about yourself, like, you know, from what I've seen of you in person, through the likes of your Twitter posts and so on, you've always come across to me as an incredibly heartfelt individual. Like, you always seem keen to project positivity and to better yourself where possible. And, you know, firstly, that's just inspiring to see and, you know, always brings up my day. But, you know, how would I say this? The energy it takes to do that and to project that in your music is absolutely fantastic. Like, how do you actually go about, you know, maintaining this, keeping yourself healthy in that regard, and actually making great tracks regarding these sort of themes?
I just want to clarify, Fo. Like, of course, it started with my wonderful mom and dad, but you know, all that is good in me started with you guys. You know, like, look, where I come from, bro. It's like, it's you know, they say that the struggle makes you stronger. You know. But in that same struggle, I've seen people break, and yeah, so, you sometimes still live with that, you know. But even if all that went down, you know, like I then discovered the fandom, you know, and I kept working. I know that like I could do something about it, you know, and like this fandom gave me that energy to do that, and like I even if we're like a few years like later in this, like that energy is still out there. It still helps people. It still unites people, man. And it just kind of bothers me each time that people say like, oh, the fandom is dying, the fandom is dying. Well, you know what the thing is? Like, look, I can understand if you lose your interest in that, but don't say a fandom is dying just because you're the one that's losing interest. Not like we can say the same thing about Star Trek. The show ended like around 50 years ago. They still run conventions. Like it's epic. It's beautiful. Like it's also the same reason why I started Straight from the Heart. You know, like the Brony hip hop movement. You ever heard of that? Or
Oh yes, no, I'm aware of that.
yeah. Like it's like legit. I used to think that I was the only one, you know, but then I said like, okay, I'm starting a group. I know that I want to be there for those. You know, sometimes when people see me on stage, you know, like, and I'm really, and for the record, I'm really happy I can be there for you. I love you all very much. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity for it, and I'm there for you. You know, like, but I want to be there. I most definitely want to be there for the person, you know, in the stage. You know, the kid in the stage. You know, who's looking who's looking, you know, to the podium and that, and thinks, I want to be there too, you know. I also want to inspire people. I also want to tell stories. I also want to, like, you know, reach out to something, you know. I want to do something because other people say I can't, you know. Like, I want to be there for that kind of person. And that's exactly why I started that movement, you know, because if I look at it right now, for the server alone, we're like, yeah, we got like so many people. Like, this started as like a daydream, and now we're a professional movement with like 136 members. We got so many projects, so many wonderful ideas, and like it all comes together, you know. We do mega collaborations for like where like 8 people jump in, you know, all dropping a verse or singing something or like making beats and all that. It's so epic. Like, yeah, like and I chose the name specifically Straight from the Heart because, well, I think that's how it should be, you know? Like, friendship isn't always, it's exactly because, well, it's a specific quote from Twilight Sparkle I most definitely look up to, you know? Like, she once said that friendship isn't always easy, but there's no doubt it's worth fighting for.
Actually, just elaborate on that point as well, because you were talking there about Straight from the Heart, and
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to LP music, I mean, you know, some people might think of the electronic music side of things or the acoustic tunes and the covers, but there is a hugely significant hip-hop presence in the MLP fandom, and, you know, Straight from the Heart is a major part for that. I mean, what can you tell us about the Brony rap and hip-hop scene for those who aren't as aware of it, and tell us a bit more about Straight from the Heart?
What I can tell about it, and well, for the record first, let me clarify. There are, next to hip-hop, also so many amazing projects and so many beautiful ideas out there that actually, you know, that get worked out, and they even do it for charity and stuff. That's so cool. Like, I want to give a quick shout out to A State of Sugar, ASOS. I want to give a shout out to Ponies at Dawn. Legit, check those guys out. Pink Amina Party. I want to give a shout out to Horse Music Herald. Like, there are so, but there's just a few of the like. There's just a few of them. So many projects I can name, but like those, you know, they all do amazing, beautiful work, and like, it's all so alive still, you know. Like, it's like, I honestly don't know what to say right now, but like, it's
No, oh, sorry, you go.
Oh no, you go.
No, I just got to say, I love your enthusiasm. I love the drive and the passion you've got for this. Like, you know, it's and particularly, like you said, we're on the 9th season of the show, the last one. People like to say things, you know, about how the fandom's dying, how they're this, that, and the next thing. The truth is, it isn't. There's still so much passion and so much creativity going on out there that, you know, some people can't see the wood from the trees, but actually there's just so much more going on that people just aren't aware of. And, you know, it's fantastic that you give a shout out to those other artists as well, because there's just so many people that, you know, don't get as much notice as ever, shall we say, and deserve to actually be raised up.
Exactly. And quite frankly, if you're one of those people listening right now, hit me up. I want to collab with you, bro. Like, yeah, dude, let's go. Like, I want to be there for the dreamers, like that's what I do, and especially I want to come back to something, like, especially those people who say that it's dying. Like, I want to come back to what you said as well, like, regarding like the fandom dying and all that. Like, we pretty much, there was like this whole drama like almost a year ago, where like massive things were leaked about the show, like that like it was gonna be the last season, and like some new characters and stuff. And we were like, yo, y'all need to relax, like, because of course it is kind of worrying. Maybe, yeah, it is kind of worrying thing to know that like it's the last. But I want to just set the record straight, like, even with all that went down, with all the bullshit that happened, the most cons still grew into attendance. Like, I went to HarmonyCon a few months ago. Like, it's like very late in season, but like it was still so huge. So many people went there. It was awesome. Like, what are you talking about? With like it's decreasing and all that. It's nonsense. Like,
well, exactly. It's that thing that the passion is still there, and there's that old saying as well, if you build it, they will come. And there's no question here, HarmonyCon, like you said, that has come very late in the life of the MLP fandom, but it's done fantastically well. And same in the UK, like Griffish Isle started last year.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere, brilliant convention.
Yeah, and the same thing with Brony, Scott. Like, okay, look, maybe this year was maybe a bit smaller, but it's still there. Like, you guys still managed to do it. Like, I don't remember much of it. I drink too much, but like, but what I do remember, it was amazing. Like, you had so many. Oh yeah, definitely. It was definitely one of the biggest. Like, the enthusiasm is there, and like so many people still come up with ideas. Like, what the funny thing is? What I also found super amazing about something, like, imagine for example, you have this episode where like Fluttershy becomes Flutterbet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've actually set up a timer that time. I wanted to try something out. I set up a timer for when Flutterbet was on screen, right? And within 7 minutes, during the episode, I repeat, during the episode, there were already 5 plushies, fully detailed plushies on Derpy Buru. That's how fast and how powerful this fandom is. At HarmonyCon, I was there. They pulled the fire alarm. We thought like, oh my god, this is going to be the end of the cons. Everybody was evacuated and all that. No, instead we just went to a different hotel. We made a whole charity thing out of it. And the next day, like, the con just went on as it was. Like, nothing went, it's like somebody tweeted this earlier. So apologies if I'm kind of stealing your joke, but it's like bronies are one of the best emergency plans that are ever like, and like that's exactly that kind of stuff. That kind of will to just keep on doing good stuff, to keep on fighting the good fight, to just keep on, to keep defending the world that we love and what inspires us so much, That's what also one of the main prime examples why I started straight from the heart, like, and I'll be real, to be honest, like, I appreciate all the love, I appreciate everything, thank you so much, man. I'm with you guys all the way, but I'm gonna be real in saying that, like, I as well have my asshole moments, honestly. But if I can do something, then let it be good, and I hope that, like, with what I've done with starting the movement, to letting other people know that, like, yo, the dream you fight for, you can reach it. The dream like, the dream you fight for, you can do it. What you stand up for and believe, you can reach it. We're not here to fit in anybody's box. We're here to show you that the box doesn't exist. Boom. There. Finally, it came out. It took some time, but like, yeah, like.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the punchy point to make. And actually, talking about, dreams and achieving them, we have to talk about your first CD here, If I Ever Forget, your debut LP. It came out last year. It is a great hip-hop record.
Thank you.
And, making your first record, it has to be a very special process. And, like, tons of ideas going into it and that you're juggling about. And some great collaborators you're working with as well, including Pegasus, Violin Melody, and The Wondering Kit. What was it like making this album and coming up with the songs?
So, like I said earlier, right, with all the energy and love that this fandom gives out, the wonderful emergency plans for like stuff on people pulling fire alarms and shit, like flooding Twitter with ponies, all those wonderful emergency plans and everything that like. Pretty much what represents the fandom and all that. I figured that like this, that like I sometimes ask myself, like, why am I one of the lucky ones, man? Like everybody deserves to feel this way. Like everybody deserves to feel happy and feel a place where they belong, So, and of course, like you grow older, you experience more in life. There are days where you start to see the world in a different daylight, each in a new perspective in a new way. But like it's still. But you still remember it's planet Earth, you still, and what I stand on is what I stand for the record, So, like, but what inspired me was like, I don't want this kind of energy, this kind of love and power to be lost in history or like forgotten or something, like this cannot be. So I make this album as kind of a memory note, like. You know what I usually do? Like if I have a great idea, I hold on to it and keep writing. I non-stop write. But it's like holding on to an idea, and like telling yourself that if I ever forget this, and I come across the CD, then you can remind you. Then let that album represent all the wonderful ideas and dreams that you fight for, and like and everything that already came true, And I want to give and especially like it's the main message behind it as well. The most definitely one of the main messages is that like just because you haven't figured it out yet doesn't mean that you never will. And I promise you, the day will come when you will look back and wonder why you even worried in the first place. Like, look, I used to be very maybe I still am. But like I used to be very worried about whether I'm a good teammate for all the people in Straight from My Heart, like and whether I do the right thing, or like, to be honest, I'm a massive Fluttershy fan, but there were times where I like wondered if I was worthy to be a fan of Fluttershy and all that, like all this stuff that concerns me, and like and legit, I've seen my fair share of life, like I said with the struggle thing, but. You know what the thing is? I never gave up. Because maybe I repeat a lot of stuff, I know, but like to put it in context, like if I feel like I'm giving up, I remember why I started in the first place, And now here I am. I'm working on a second album, an audiobook. I'm if I ever forget, by the way, almost already donated like $1,000 to the Upkicker. You know what the Upkicker is?
I believe you. I think you might have mentioned this at the convention. Is this not the charity that you were raising money for?
Yeah. Like this organization that like fixes, like creates a very nice day for children, with a chronic disease or like a terminal disease, and and that organization, they organize like let's say a dream come true, so like if somebody loves dolphins a lot, like they support like make a wish, like they so like they, for example, if somebody always wanted to like pet a dolphin or something, or like they wanted to go to they wanted to visit the Grand Canyon, then they make that dream come true, like they help with that, like so like it's like make a wish, yeah, like. Because those kids deserve to be happy, like, And I could tell, like, I'm one of those kids. I was one of those kids who, like, legit, like, I was 8 years old when I became a diabetic, when I was diagnosed with, like, that chronic disease. And, like, to be honest, I always wanted to be a soldier because I wanted to make a difference but I never got that chance. And quite frankly, it took away most of my childhood too. But, like, you know what? Now I understand that, like, I myself might not have had that kind of a childhood, but I can give a childhood to other people, you know, by supporting, by, you know, working for Opkikker together. And, like, and yeah, if that can make, yeah.
It's an absolutely fantastic cause to be supporting. And yeah, I remember when we were at the convention, you were chatting about it, just the pure enthusiasm and not even drive, just passion for, you know, how much you wanted to help these kids. And, you know, and just to explain this to the listeners as well, when we were buying albums at Brony Scott, when he was selling them, a portion of the proceeds were actually going to the charity, which was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like I said, I mean, you live your truth. That's what I'll say. Like, you know, you don't just say that, you know, you want it to be positivity. You demonstrate it repeatedly about what you want to be, and what you want others to be, and to demonstrate that. And it's so pure, and it's inspiring to see. That's what I can say. Like, you know, you're absolutely, from my experience, you know, doing the show for the last few years, you're probably one of the most inspirational and optimistic people I've ever met.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Hey, I love you, man. Thank you so much, man. But again, I need to clarify, the real heroes are the people who help me make this possible, both for them and, you know, for themselves. You know, like, they are the ones who make it possible. They are the ones who, yeah, like, who can do this, you know, like, and legit, for all the people listening to this podcast, I do this for you too, you know, like, I do this for all the people who could never dream like a kid, but make sure that their children can, you know, like, I do this for you guys, man. I do this for, yeah, like, I do it for all y'all, man. Like, it's so, there's so many people I want to name, but yeah, like,
I feel like we need one of those like fast credit scrolls on the episode where we can just put all the names and just like go, and now we'd like to credit, just put them all up in one massive list. Because I've no doubt, with all the people you've met and you know, the people you've worked with, people you'd like to shout, I've no doubt it would be an absolutely massive list. But I'll tell you what, just because I'm aware that we've actually only got about a couple of minutes left, and I've got two major questions I actually want to fire through quite fast, which is, firstly, I would like to ask you a little bit about this new record that you're making, and perhaps if there's any little hints or tidbits you can tell us about the album.
Well, there's it's an album, but it's also going to be like an audiobook, you know, because I can tell you the title of the album will be "You Got Me, I Got Us," because it will tell the story of, like, well, it's meant to represent it, like, you know, we all live in the society as it is today, you know, and, like, to be honest, it's an album that's supposed to, like, oppose, but also embrace and trying to understand, like, human nature and both, like, the world we are fighting for, you know, like, it's like telling what it all really means and all that, you know, like, the idea of, like, still believing in the dream, even if there's a lot of shaky stuff, you know, like, that's what the album is going to be about, like. And it's also gonna be like an audiobook, you know. So if you ever want to hear me, if you ever wanted to hear me voice act, well, here you go. Like, yeah, like, to be honest, I've been getting into voice acting lately. I really enjoy, to be honest, like, because I love to raise my voice.
Well, I can understand that, and yeah, voice acting is incredibly good fun. There's no question here whatsoever, and. The other question I was wanting to ask you as well, and I think you might appreciate this one, just because normally, you know, at the end of the show, I would ask a series of MLP-related questions. I've actually only got one that I've got time for. However, I think it's only fair that I ask this, because I like to always ask my guest, who is your favourite pony? However, we all know that your favourite pony is Fluttershy, so let's just get that bit over with. Yeah. Why is Fluttershy your favourite character? Tell us all.
Fluttershy is my favorite character because, well, it may be a bit weird to say, but I actually have this one song called called Guardian Angel, where I explain where like what it all really means to me, and like the dream that like, because you know what I see in Fluttershy is I really recognize myself in him, and I the ideas, the principles, and what she feels and stand up for. You know, it's so wonderful and brave, and it really speaks to me. You know, like it's like actually. Maybe, like, to be honest, it's maybe very weird to say, but I to be honest can't even explain it with words. I can only explain it with music. Like to be honest, I don't make much Fluttershy songs, but the ones I do, I really enjoy them, because in there, like, I just go full out, you know, with emotions and stuff. Like it's yeah, it just gives me like a wonderful feeling of liberation, and like she literally embodies what I think and feel, you know, and like what to be honest, there's this specific line that I got that I want to repeat from which represents what we feel, and like what you know, what the fandom feels. You feel me? Like, what do you think fantasy is surreal? What we feel is real, you know? And I want to give a quick shout out to Kurok and Nami, by the way. You both did great, man. Like, but yeah, that's what it like supposed to. Yeah, like it's yeah. I really care about her. Like, yeah, I say that unironically, fully. You know, like I said, straight from the heart, man. I really care about her. Like, yeah.
Yeah, hey, listen, look, nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And actually, could you briefly mention there one of the tracks there that you did, your Fluttershy related track? Could you just name a couple of them for us as well? Because what we can do, I think we might be able to put a link in the description below, actually, to two of those tracks.
Well, if you even want to, and if it's even possible, I have the WAV file of like I can even like a track from the album, like I could place it over here. But if tracks that I can also really recommend, if you guys want to have a listen, I recommend listening to like if you want to go for the more emotional ones, like I recommend Guardian Angel, of course. I'd recommend Flutterwubs. Another Inch Away, I did that with Differ. Shout out to Differ. Oh, and speaking of which, shout out to Mikuma and Pegasus, by the way. You guys rock, man. I love y'all. Maybe we could do like you can maybe track with TCB, maybe, or like yeah. There's just, I don't know, like there's so many tracks for like. and again, for I don't really do much Fluttershy songs, like, but the ones I do, like, I really enjoy those, like.
No, I completely understand there, and I'll tell you what, actually, because we're actually nearing the end of the episode, and firstly, once again, I would just like to say thank you so much, Arch, for coming on. It has been an absolute joy having you as a guest.
Well, thank you for having me on, bro. Like, damn, like, I love you guys, man. Like legit, like it feels so good. Like, I know, honestly, like the talking Arch is different from the rapping Arch. I know that, but like, if I hope that like I hope to all the listeners as well that I can showcase that like I really care about y'all. You know, sometimes I might suck at showing it, but I love y'all. I believe in y'all. You can do it. You know, like, and I'm honored. I'm honored that you would have me onto this, man. Like, thank you. Like yeah.
No, listen, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on, and honestly, it's an honor having you on as well. You've been a fantastic guest, and like I said, I've always enjoyed your stuff, and I'm looking forward to see what you do with the new album and the audiobook and where you go from there. And my final question for you as well is, where can we send our loyal listeners to find you? Where can we send them on the interwebs?
You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. I'm on Bandcamp, and I'm on SoundCloud. You guys can place the links in the description, right? Like,
oh, exactly. Yes, no, they will all be down below. So if you want to see what Arch is up to, the music he's doing, cool. Get in touch, collaborate, look below, go from there.
Awesome. And I hope you guys will enjoy, man. I do this all for you, and I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. Keep representing the magic, man. Keep showing the world that you can create a beautiful world as long as you have the will to believe in one, man. Show them that you do it because others say you can, you know? If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies, man. Keep it up. I'm with you all the way. I love y'all.
Oh, like I said, you're just so pure. I love you. You're just absolutely fantastic. And please, listeners, I hope you take those words to heart. Please do. We need a bit more positivity in our fandom and in this world.
We are so going to drink beer at Brony Scott, bro. Like, legit, we need... I still owe you a Guinness. I just realized that.
I'll tell you what, we will buy each other drinks at the next con. We will make up for it there.
Yeah, dude. Like, and everybody should join in, man. Brony Scott 2019. When is the date? I don't know, but I'm coming, okay? I don't...
Someone write the date, 9th of November. That's what it is.
9th of November. There we go.
So yes, no, get your tickets after Griffiths Isles. Come see us. We will drink beer and be merry.
And be drunk.
And be drunk. And be drunk. Most importantly, be drunk and be Scottish. But yeah.
Legit though, like I love Scotland, man. Like I love your accent, I love your swear words, like
Hey, listen, like, what can I say? Scottish people have a couple of perks. I'll say that. It's bit.
Oh, definitely, man. Like, honestly, like I've been hooked on Iron Brew since last year, dude. Like, it tastes wonderful. Like, I actually go on here right now. Like,
oh, listen, it tastes of steel good does. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yes, my thanks to MC Arch for being on the show. My thanks to you guys for watching. And of course, if you want to get in touch with us, with constructive criticism, perhaps you're a creative person who would like to be interviewed on the show, perhaps you just want to get in touch with us, you have a question, feel free to. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we are on YouTube, where you're watching this episode right now. And of course, we have our email address, which is highlandbronies@hotmail.com. So feel free to get in touch with us if you have any burning questions. But that is the end of the show for today. So my thanks to you guys one last time for watching. And while I would normally say, please subscribe and end it there, you know what? On a cue from the MC Arch, I'm just going to say it. I love you guys. Keep up the great work.